you have now all the components necessary to actually do something as far as building is concerned. It's very important to know that you have a reference now. You have grouping objects, you have joining objects, you have moving objects. So at any one point when you're doing this task that I assign you, just know that you can always go back to those videos, rewatch them, they're only a minute or two, and then come back and then do the action. Get used to switching between doing something, and if you forget, it's okay. It's okay to forget. You can go back, and by going back, you're going to learn that after a while, it's just going to be to the point where you don't have to go back anymore. Okay, so we're going to build, or actually you are going to build a small house using the things that I've shown you so far. So the house has to have just a main house with windows, with a porch, with a picket fence, a chimney, and let's see what else, a mailbox. I'll give you an example of this. So if I needed to make a mailbox, for example, I would take a cube and I would scale it up. Now, if I wanted to make a thing on the top, cube. Now notice that this popped in over here. Wouldn't it be easier if it popped over here? Again, I showed you how to do that. I go Object, Snap, Cursor to Selected. So when I make a cube, it immediately makes it where I need it to be. Scale that up. Now for these lessons, especially the very beginning ones, don't concentrate so much on detail. Wipe detail out. It's not about the detail, it's about the moving of things. It's about the adding of things into the scene. So get used to that. Like for example, Shift D is very handy here. R. It's a little too tall. So for me right now, I'm not thinking about making these objects. I'm not thinking about what keyboard shortcuts to do because I know them. But for the new student, that's different. That's not the case. The new student that's doing 3D for the first time, what they're concentrating on right now is the keyboard shortcuts, the remembering of what buttons to push, what these tabs are. They see all these buttons and they get really confused. So only concentrate on the small stuff. It's the small stuff that's important. So, for example, that's a perfectly acceptable mailbox for a new student. Did they have to have a round top? No, it did not. I got 4 forms in here. Let's say I wanted to keep this as a mailbox. Well, I could object join it, and there's my mailbox. If I wanted to pivot point in the center, object, transform, origin to geometry. Good. Now, using the scale of the mailbox, you could make the scale of the house. Or you could have made the house first and then made a mailbox for it. There's no wrong answer. I will show you one thing in this video that is a precursor to the next video, but don't abuse it. So if you hit cube, And let's scale this up. If I hit Tab, go to this button right here, click on the top, and scale. Hit Tab again. That looks like a top of a house. Okay, so use that to your advantage to make the top. Alright, so that's what the task is allotted to you. Make a house. Make it as detailed as you need, but remember it has to have a mailbox, a roof, house, doors, windows, picket fence, and then a ground plane. And a ground plane is just a simple plane. Think of that as the yard that it sits on. The yard can be a cube that's really thin. Alright, so that's your assignment. Enjoy.